Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
A Port Huron man would like everyone to know he's still alive, especially after the major league team he used to play for made people think otherwise.
The Whelan family sharing their frustration with how the U.S. has handled Russia's detention of a Novi man accused of spying.
And a spraying program aimed at keeping plants off the roads in one community being met with loud opposition. All ahead on Local 4 News at 6, but let's kick things off here with severe weather rolling through our area, and that is prompting a new round of warnings.
Yeah, before we get to those, look at the video we just got in from Howell and listen to it as well.
Yeah.
That's hail hitting a car there. Ben's here with the latest on some of these storms, and you were talking about hail just a little while ago, Ben.
Yeah, up to 1 inch in diameter is what we're expecting, Jason and Devin, from these thunderstorms. We've got 2 active warnings that we're tracking right now. One of those is in the northeastern corner of Whelan County. That thunderstorm moving to the east at about 30 miles per hour. So if you're in the path of this in Rochester, Shelby, Macomb, you'll be seeing that between now and about 6:22 if this storm holds together through the end of Whelan County. The other area we're watching is now starting to move just off to the northeast of Ypsi. This is going to be crossing 94 here before too long. That's moving to the southeast at about 30 miles per hour. So Van Buren Township here in just a few minutes. Romulus near the airport at 6:10, and we'll see it in Huron Township at about 6:23. Those are the only 2 warnings we're watching, but there's quite a bit of lightning out there with all of these thunderstorms. And we did just get a report in from Whitmore Lake of 1 inch hail that you saw some video of right there, not too far in Howell. We'll continue to track these storms and also look at your 4th of July forecast. And don't forget to take us with you this holiday weekend on the Local Forecasters app. Guys?
All right, Ben. Now, new at 6. Neighbors asking why their local road commission needs to spray chemicals along several roads in Washtenaw County.
And we're talking about herbicides here used for killing weeds and preventing overgrowth, but some people in the county are worried about possible health consequences.
As Coco McAvoy shows us, it's about not just the people, but their animals, too.
The Road Commission says their program is about getting rid of the vegetation for road safety. But neighbors say it's going to change their way of living, and they're fighting back.
It's a great way to live out here.
Catherine Larson lives in her own pocket of paradise in Webster Township, where she's raised 4 chickens who flock to the sound of her voice.
Come on, girls.
And they roam freely around her property.
It's why I moved to Webster Township, so that I could have free-range chickens and I could guard.
But in August, she fears it all could change.
All this will be killed, and then all the chemicals will go into the waterway.
The Washtenaw County Road Commission conducts a roadside vegetation control program yearly, and part of it includes spraying herbicides along county roads to get rid of overgrown weeds.
It's not about road safety.
Larson took her concerns to the commission's board meeting this afternoon.
It's unbelievable what you're doing.
She's not alone. The meeting was packed with upset residents.
I can guarantee you, every single person in this room can offer you suggestions.
We are being poisoned at a cancerous rate.
The Road Commission believes the program is necessary and says it's approved by the Department of Agriculture.
All of this is part of our efforts to try to maintain the roadside, which is part of our state. We're by law are required to maintain the roadside.
But Larson and other neighbors are hoping for another solution.
Work with us, give us time.
And it is important to note that the county is giving homeowners the chance to opt out of this program if they follow specific guidelines. They just have to fill out an application by July 15th. So that's why we want to make sure to get the information out there. Back to you.
So the residents have about 2 weeks here, 15 days or so, to apply to opt out. Were they given that information, though, ahead of time?
Yes, so a lot of residents were complaining, saying that they were not given enough time, but the Road Commission says they gave residents plenty of time and started alerting them back in June. And of course, this spraying program starts August 1st. Yeah.
All right, Coco, we'll let you get out of the rain. Jason.
Michigan ex-Marine Paul Whelan has been in Russian custody now for 6 full months, and there's renewed talk he might wind up in some sort of prisoner exchange. Tonight, we're hearing from Paul's family about this new possibility. Rod Maloney has been talking with the Whelans since the beginning and has that update for us tonight.
Paul Whelan knows there's only one place where he can speak and be heard, inside a cell in a Russian courtroom with international TV cameras inside. He most recently complained,
"My personal safety has been threatened. There are abuses and harassment that I'm constantly subjected to. There's a case for isolation. I have not had a shower in 2 weeks. I can't use a barber. I have to cut my own hair. I can't have medical treatment. I can't have dental treatment."
Paul's brother David's been talking to Local 4 all along, and his concern has been that the State Department is interested in Paul, but only to a point.
My sister met with Ambassador John Bolton, and so we know it had gotten to that level that they're aware of Paul's issue. And so we're assuming that it's being spoken about at Secretary Pompeo's level, perhaps at President Trump's level, and to not have a public statement of support that Paul is wrongfully detained in Russia is hard to bear.
Perhaps harder to bear is the faint hope offered when a Russian foreign ministry official raised a prisoner swap this week.
Deputy Foreign Minister Ryabkov's statement is a clear statement that Paul is a political pawn and that they are hoping to extract some sort of value from the United States by trading him for something. I think the concern is that a trade for a felon who is held in an American prison for an innocent American tourist in Russia isn't a fair trade and puts other Americans at risk for future swaps.
Now, here's something you probably didn't know. During the Obama administration, in the waning days, they seized 2 Soviet properties, a New York and an Eastern Maryland Shores diplomatic compound, as part of sanction against Russia for its interference in the 2016 election. And David believes that that sanction might play into all of this. He's not quite certain how, but he thinks that that might be part of what could end up a prisoner swap. Back to you.
Yeah, and Rod, obviously he's hopeful that this will happen, but is he thinking he will be able to see his brother at all soon?
Well, you know, Jason, one of the things that has been consistent with David all along is that he is highly unoptimistic about it. He thinks that his brother's going to end up convicted and sentenced to 20 years in prison. After that is when there might be a prisoner swap. And in fact, we're hearing now that the Russians have been kind of going back on this notion, saying that until he is convicted, they don't want to trade him either. So this is not going to be finished anytime soon.
Yeah, it's just fascinating to watch it all play out, though. Rod, thanks.
Now, a couple of Local 4 updates for you. Less than 24 hours after the Oakland County Sheriff asked for the public's help in finding a shooting suspect, that suspect has been arrested in Detroit. The deputies say they found and arrested Keandre Say this morning. Say was wanted in connection with a deadly shooting at a Pontiac apartment complex over the weekend. He's held at the Oakland County Jail while detectives say they still are investigating the case. New details tonight on the car that police think was involved in a deadly hit and run on Detroit's west side Monday morning. Police say, or Michigan State Police rather, say they're looking for a dark Cadillac XT5 and that it will have heavy damage that occurred in the crash. That crash killed a 40-year-old man who was walking on northbound M39 near Finkel early Monday morning.
We have new information tonight on the shooting of a 16-year-old boy at a fireworks tent on Detroit's west side. Police say they think a security guard inside the tent was the one to shoot the boy. That 16-year-old is stable. We don't know his condition, but he is at the hospital. We're told the boy was riding his bike around Joy and Greenfield just after midnight when he possibly knocked on that tent, which was closed, and then was shot.
Tonight, the Detroit City Council is giving city residents a break on parking tickets. Instead of a steep $45 for tickets, Detroiters will only be charged $22.50 if they pay within the first 5 days, and that's the rub. The discount is only for metered parking and prohibited area or no parking area violations. You're only eligible for the discount if you have no outstanding tickets. Keep that in mind, and you have to register with the parking department starting in August.
General Motors is urging the United States Supreme Court to rule that federal civil rights laws protect LGBTQ Americans from bias. GM has joined more than 200 other corporations filing a brief with the Supreme Court. The companies say the 1964 Civil Rights Act bans job discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation and gender identity. The Trump administration has argued the civil rights law does not extend to protections to gay and transgender workers. The court takes up the case this fall of a Michigan funeral home that fired an employee who transitioned from male to female.
NBC Nightly News just about 20 minutes away, so let's check in with Lester Holt and see what they're working on.
Lester joins us live from New York City tonight. Hey, Lester.
Hey, Jason and Devin, coming up, Nike cancels the release of a 4th of July themed shoe after a flag controversy. We'll tell you more about that. Also, the price you pay, some surprising ways to save some money as your family hits the road this holiday week.
Unless there's a lot you can do before that road trip starts, right?
Yeah, things you should pop the hood for to look for. Also, a phone call to your insurance company that might save you money. We'll tell you more tonight.
About 20 minutes away. Great, Lester. We'll see you then.
Still to come, there's a new medical test that promises to answer one of the biggest health questions most people have. Dr. McGee will be back to explain that.
Coming up first, you don't need a test to see that this man is very much alive. He's been hearing from a lot of folks who thought otherwise. Thanks to the New York Mets. We're going to sort that out in just a minute.
They describe him as a real-life Indiana Jones.
Bone-breaking teeth of a T-Rex.
Now living and working in Detroit.
You can go fossil hunting pretty much anywhere in the world.
A world-renowned paleontologist who's on a new mission.
I always wanted to explore far-flung corners of the world.
Hear why he's now teaching science to students in the city of Detroit. The story at 11.